My wife is a psychotherapist who literally does play therapy with adults. She's got sandboxes in her office, and she's got little miniature, like 5,000 of these miniature things, and adults come in and they play because they weren't allowed to play as kids. It's really sad. At the elementary school level, to me, the most important developmental focus should be learning how the world works. Kids, when they reach 6, 7 years of age, they're moving into the social world now. They're going out there and they're seeing teachers and they're seeing role models and they're getting skills and abilities and they're moving around and they're wondering what the rules are. And so we got to help them learn what the rules are. The rules of reading, that's when it becomes appropriate to teach reading and math and so forth. But to teach them about everything, about why the sky's blue, about different countries, about how their bike works, about how their anatomy works. I mean, all those kind of things are appropriate. And one of the models that's useful, one that Dr. Gardner has recommended, is the whole Children Museum model, where kids actually interact directly with these aspects of the real world. I don't necessarily mean going out to children's museums, but bringing this rich, interactive environment into the classroom, rather than spending time on this stupid worksheet wasteland test score thing. Middle school, kids are hitting puberty in their late childhood and their early adolescence. The developmental focus should be social, emotional, and metacognitive learning. It's really strange because it seems like in middle school, I found this at least to be true, we either regard puberty with antagonism as teachers, or we attempt to ignore it entirely, which is really the elephant in the room. Because puberty is obviously the most significant, if you're a big evolution follower like I am, the most significant evolutionary aspect of being a human being, because it determines our ability to pass on our genes. It has all kinds of concomitant events that occur hormonally, that occur in neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters change, swell the amygdala, which creates more aggression, anxiety, anger, especially in males. The serotonin levels change, which affect girls. They become more moody, more depressed, and of course boys do too. All these changes are going around, and if we as educators try to ignore this or have an antagonistic view toward it, we are teaching at our own peril. We're basically swimming upstream. So what do kids need at this time? Well, they need learning that involves the emotions. They need learning that involves reflection. They should be keeping journals, for example. They need learning that involves peer connections, because so much of their life is about connecting to their peers, not so much to their parents and their teachers. So any kind of approach, such as cooperative learning and journal keeping and teaching on emotional themes, or teaching history by bringing kids into connection with the events of that time directly. I use a little technique with teachers. I say, when you're teaching anything with your kids, especially at middle school level, start your phrase, think of a time in your life when you blank. So if you're learning about the French Revolution, you ask your kids, think of a time in your life when you felt like revolting against authorities. I mean, that's a real good one to work with in the middle school, because right away you're involving their feelings, their emotions, and then you're bringing it back into the French Revolution. All of a sudden they're more interested in the French Revolution.